Kaiju number 8 has his priorities straight. The villain is monologuing. The battle rages. But you know what? The kitty needs a scritch. Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today, we are going to take a fully spoilery look at Kaiju number 8, chapter 105. And we are just going to jump right into the spoilers, so if you don't want to hear any, you can take this time to click away from this video and go check out the links below the video to get yourself a copy of my book, Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, a collection of short, absurd science fiction stories. Kaiju number 8 is standing there, cradling Mina in his arms as she dreams of child Kafka keeping her safe. Kaiju number 9 is staring at them in blank astonishment for a moment, wondering where his arm went. And that opening page spread. Kaiju number 8 is standing there. Kaiju number 9 is standing there. That is wall-hanging quality art, and I just like looking at it. The muscular structure, the pose, the sharpness of the lines. But in this moment, art aside, battles aside, we get to see the heart of what makes Kafka special as a protagonist. Now, we joke about the standard shonen protagonist. I know I do a lot. That generic hero with the plucky, never-say-die attitude who will never fail to achieve his goals through hard work and determination. But in reality, there is a wide range of Shonen Jump hero types. You have your basic Son Goku, who above all else loves combat. And in this moment, staring down at Kaiju number 9, Goku would have been filled with Saiyan joy and the thought of the battle to come. Son Goku would have gotten Mina out of the way. He would have made sure she was taken care of, might even have offered Baku a comforting word, but his heart, his mind would have been entirely on the battle. And he would have turned from his friends to face Kaiju number 9 with a grin, because his joy was in the fight. Yusuke Urameshi would have had about a 50-50 chance of being interested in and enjoying the fight, but whether he was interested in the fight or not, he would have immediately set to the business of the fight with a grim determination once everyone else was out of the immediate blast radius. Again, his focus would have been on the fight. Many a shonen protagonist loves the fight, the scrap, or at least focuses on the fight to the exclusion of everything else. Not Kafka. Kafka is there to serve and protect the people around him however he needs to. By feeding Reno when Reno was being a stubborn brat, by being Kafka's ideal of a dutiful civil servant. Remember that when Kafka was at his lowest point on those cold nights when he hadn't joined the Defense Force yet, the warm thought he clung to was being a good civil servant. And Kafka has, I dare say, a very Christian goal of serving others, of helping them up. And that drives that core goal of Kafka's shines in this moment, in this fight. He wastes no time getting Mina free from Kaiju number 9, one swift act of violence, and then he gets her to safety, sets her down beside the battered Bako, and turns to smile at Bako. Which, I mean, showing that many teeth is probably not the best way to soothe a big cat, but presumably Bako is smarter than your average Lyger. Kafka takes a precious moment, reaches out, and pats Bako on the head, thanking him for all of his hard work, for delaying Kaiju number 9 just long enough for Kafka to get there and punch Mina free of the Kaiju, number 9's absorption cocoon. And then the rest of the chapter happens, because that is the important part. Going way back to chapter 2, when Kafka saved that little girl from the same kind of kaiju that had attacked him, he had tried and failed to comfort her because of a lack of control of his face. But this little girl, she still understood that he was trying to comfort her, that he had saved her. And now, with everybody in their bunkers watching on the big screens, she's cheering on Mr. Kaiju Man, the gifter of smiles and comfort. If I had to pick a Shonen Jump protagonist who Kafka was most like, I would say it was Nariyuki from We Never Learn. Not incredibly gifted himself, he has built himself up through hard work and determination, not to be a warrior or an athlete or a musician, but a teacher. Someone whose core goal is to reach out and offer a hand up to those around him, to have a hand in forming the next generation. the ultimate support class, if you will. Except, of course, that heart of the ultimate support class has been strapped kicking and screaming into a direct combat role, and Kafka is squaring up with Kaiju number 9 for a one-on-one, mano-a-mano, good old-fashioned fist fight. The tattered remnants of the defense force have only minutes on their timers before they are utterly exhausted. They've already pushed themselves too far. The area around has been cleared of civilians. As far as cell phones can tell, at least, the fact that the support staff took the time to clarify the fact that there are no cell phone signals in the area and therefore it was clear, storytelling-wise, that makes me suspicious that a civilian without a cell phone might be a complicating factor in the upcoming fight. And the punching has begun. This fight is many things, but it is very much a round 2 for Kafka and the Director General. The student, once removed through Vice Captain Hoshina, going toe-to-toe with the master who perfected the style. Now, people say that this puts Kafka at a disadvantage, but not really. The first airplane that ever flew was the worst airplane that ever flew. The first guy to do the marathon in under 2 hours was the worst time that ever did the marathon in under 2 hours. The creator of a style of combat, of physical exercise, is not necessarily the best one because everybody who comes after it perfects it, adds to it. Freerin addressed this very well. The creator of offensive magic, when brought out of his time capsule, out of his coma, was just completely flabbergasted by how complicated and advanced offensive magic had grown in his absence. The creator is not necessarily the best master of any discipline. And so now we have Kafka versus the Director General, Kaiju number 8, the Kaiju Degenerator, versus Kaiju number 9, the Kaiju Regenerator. So, what do you think, my wonderful viewers? What kind of shonen protagonist is Kafka? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Hit that like and subscribe button, and peace out, my wonderful viewers.
Drake McCarty's leg was shattered, deep in the wilderness. As the flash flood closed over him, something alien pulled him from the waters. A military base that shouldn't exist. An ancient warrior with secrets of his own. Drake returns to his family with a whole leg and the burden of a secret he doesn't understand. In the forest around them, someone is watching, and something followed him home. Flying Sparks. 90,000 words of science fantasy adventure. The first novel in the Dying Embers universe is now available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo by Rakuten, Google Play Books, and from the author as a signed copy. Get your copy now, and step into a world where dragons walk the forest, aliens lurk on the mountain, and things go boomp in the night.
Escape into another world with the writings of author Betty Adams. 2 worlds, one of utter absurdity, one of dramatic tension, both alike in aliens absolutely astounded by human behavior. Humans are weird, short, absurd science fiction stories. Flying sparks, dragons, aliens, and things that go boomp in the night.
Books available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo by Rakuten, Google Play Books, and at authorBettyAdams.com for a signed copy.